Hi folks, with Tassus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio audio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the interesting views that are put forward by the activist media, the globalist indoctrination activist media, about guns and murder and anarchy and riots in South Africa. Now, South Africa represents a sort of a bit of a problem for the globalists or the political left agitators generally, because they were agitating heavily for black rule in South Africa on the basis, well, the black people are the majority, so why shouldn't they be? And they're oppressed by evil whites and apartheid and segregation and Hitler and So this nonsense was pushed about. Now the then white government of South Africa said, look, this is what's going to happen if the blacks are given control. They're very corrupt, they're very tribal, their cronyism is going to run sort of rampant. The country will very quickly go from a rich, stable, secure, peaceful country into a basket case, and it'll happen fairly quickly. So you really shouldn't do this, give the blacks rule, unless it's done very slowly over a black middle class integrated into the culture and value system of the white people, probity, good government, representative democracy, that sort of thing. And then that might work, but it's going to take time to put together. It's not something that'll happen in one or even two generations. And this is, you can see it's the case that even black people from African countries that have had their entire education in the West, as soon as they get back into their own countries, they turn into tin pot, dictators, and tribal cronyism runs rampant. They just can't come in with the. Again, in Africa, as soon as the white administrators leave, the whole thing goes to shit. And the same's in South Africa. So there are plenty of warnings, but this was denounced as, oh yeah, that's just what Hitler would say, you damn fucking Nazi. So anyway, the blacks took over and the place went to shit very quickly. It went from being, again, one of the most stable, richest per capita countries in the world to being right on the abyss and the precipice of being an utter and total basket case. And that happened in 30 years? In this article, a number of articles I've read recently and seen online and elsewhere, is that there are something between 2.5 and 3.5 million illegal, this is supposed, illegal handguns in South Africa, owned exclusively, if you read down, owned exclusively by black people. And they spend a lot of time, tribal internecine struggles, drug gangs, street gangs, shooting each other and that sort of thing. So there's plenty of that. And there's a lot of, young men between the ages of sort of 14 and, say, early 30s are really the primary perps, or not the only ones. And usually they're operating as frontline goons for older black people who are behind the curtain pulling the strings. So nonetheless, the articles attempt to excuse it. They say, well, these people have been, they've been under apartheid for a long time and they've been suffered oppressed slavery, Nazis, white supremacy, So these people have a right to be aggrieved. They have a right to be angry. They have a right to go around shooting people because they're black. They're oppressed. So of course they can run around and shoot people. What's wrong with that? What about illegal handgun? Well, that's not really a problem. So is illegal. So what? Illegality, that's just a white man's construct anyway. So they go through this, that black people live in mortal fear of being killed by white people. Therefore, they all have to have guns. Now, if you look at, for every black person that's killed by another black person versus white, you're looking at something like 1 or 2% of white and black shooting each other. And the majority of those, or white shooting black, the majority of racial shootings are where blacks are killing the whites. So that straight away, that assertion falls apart. It's just ridiculous, hysterical ideology that black people are allowed to carry illegal handguns and go around shooting anybody because slavery hundreds of years ago. So I don't know. I don't even understand that. So now the other interesting thing was they do concede, whereas white men are truly evil top to bottom. white women are being raped at high numbers by black men. And the kind of ideology kicks back in here that rape by men against the white woman or black, even if it's a black man, is still, well, no, okay, we can't have that. That's oppression and misogyny, patriarchy. So the ideology sort of stumbles and shudders and shakes and shifts, then takes a different, completely, it shape shifts specifically to the ideology at the moment. It's a shape-shifting creature. And so now it says, okay, well, if the black man rapes the white chick, even though she's white and straight, because of misogyny, patriarchy, she now becomes the relative victim and has the greater number of victim points. Therefore, she's allowed to carry a gun, legal or not, by the way. She's allowed to carry a gun and to shoot the black guy that tries to rape her. That's okay. The black guy is allowed to carry a gun to shoot the white guy. Apparently, there's millions of white Nazis running around. They're all trying to shoot black people. No one seems to know where they are, or it never seems to happen, but it's always like the unicorn just around the next corner. And so that's allowed. So the only people not allowed to carry guns, because they're all fucking Nazis, are straight white males. Everyone else can defend themselves. Everyone else has got a right to carry a gun except straight white males, who are the least likely to run around shooting anybody. And then, back in the days of apartheid, and in the 1951, there was a case where a white guy shot the black guy. What's that got to do with today? And nothing is the answer. But this is the the shape-shifting sort of use of victim point ideology. They managed to do the most insane somersaulting back and forth in order to justify an ideological position they take that would be indefensible under any sort of reality. You've been with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for listening.